In my day, most men in bodybuilding were statues, polished, silent, and smiling. Not me. I was fire. I was noise. I was raw energy walking into every gym, every stage, every room. You either loved me or you hated me. But you couldn't ignore me. I came from a place that didn't give out easy lives, where toughness wasn't an option, it was survival. And maybe that's why I was destined to be different from the start. I was born in 1961 in Brockton, Massachusetts. Same town that gave us the world boxing legends like Rocky Marciano and Marvin Hagler. Fighters, tough men, and my family was no exception. My father was a boxer, hands like stone. My mother, a strict disciplinarian. Between them, discipline and toughness were hammered into me. But I wasn't the golden child. I had a temper, got into fights in school. Teachers said I was trouble. Some thought I'd be behind bars before I'd ever amount to anything. But the truth? That wild energy just needed a place to go. At 13, I found it. A barbell. My first set was in a basement gym, clanging rusty plates on a concrete floor. That sound, it became my music. I didn't know it then, but every rep was shaping not just my body, but my destiny. By 18, I was already competing. Teen bodybuilding shows. I was thick, dense, aggressive, different from the polished, symmetrical kids around me. I wasn't graceful. I wasn't artistic. I was explosive. Judges noticed. So did the magazines. Muscle and Fitness, Flex. Ironman. Before long, my face and physique were plastered everywhere. I wasn't posing pretty. I was snarling, gritting my teeth, veins exploding out of my arms. The fans ate it up. And I wasn't just a competitor, I was a worker. Most people don't know this, but before bodybuilding fame, I worked as a nightclub bouncer. That's where the nickname started. Mighty. Because I wasn't just big, I was powerful, and if you tested me, you'd find out real quick why the name stuck. The 1980s were my battlefield. NPC shows, IFBB contests, nationals. I climbed fast. By the late 80s, I was standing on the Olympia stage, shoulder to shoulder with giants. Lee Haney, Rich Gaspari, Gary Stridham. In 1988, I cracked the Olympia top 10. For a guy who came from nothing, who started in a basement with rusty weights, that was a statement. But even then, I wasn't satisfied. Because here's the truth, bodybuilding isn't just about muscle. It's about politics. Who the judges liked, who the sponsors backed. And I wasn't the smiling poster boy they wanted. See, most bodybuilders kept their mouths shut. They smiled for the cameras, collected their checks, and nodded along. Me, I opened my mouth. And when I did, I spoke about what others whispered about in locker rooms. Steroids, insulin, growth hormone, judges fixing placings, the federation's politics. I told the truth in interviews. I spoke out in seminars. Some fans hated me for it, some loved me for it. But either way, they listened. And that's why my reputation grew. Not just as a bodybuilder, but as the rebel. The one who wouldn't play the game. Now let me tell you something most people never knew. Behind the stage lights, behind the screaming fans, I fought battles you couldn't see. Addiction, depression, the demons that come when the adrenaline fades and you're left alone with yourself. Bodybuilding saved me, but it also broke me. The extreme lifestyle, the pressure to always be bigger, leaner, harder. I lived on the edge. And when you live on the edge long enough, sometimes you fall. But no matter how dark it got, I kept fighting. Maybe because that's all I ever knew how to do. In the 90s and beyond, I never really left the sport. Even when I wasn't competing, I was giving seminars, training others, still voicing my truth. I was never going to be the quiet guy in the corner. That just wasn't me. And fans? They never forgot. Ask anyone from that era who stood out, not just for muscle, but for attitude, and my name will come up. Because I wasn't just a bodybuilder. I was a firebrand. So now you've heard my story. A boy from Brockton. A fighter's son. A teen phenom who rose to the Olympia stage. A man who spoke his truth, no matter the cost. A man who loved bodybuilding, but refused to be its puppet. You know my fire. You know my battles. You know my legend. So who am I? I'm the one they called. The one, the only. The mighty. Mike Quinn. Like what we're doing? Want more videos like this? Subscribe and click on the notification bell for more mystery reveals from behind the curtain. See you next time on the Pump Files. Stay strong.